Greetings to my respected elders, my brothers and my sisters, and to all those who are not yet believers. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise is to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the most gracious and the most merciful. We send blessings and peace upon the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all of his followers until the day of recompense. I apologize for the noise. If there is a disruption momentarily due to oncoming traffic, I will pause what I'm saying briefly and then continue. First and foremost, I want to thank the most recent donors to the channel, to the Dawa project, and that is Brian and Ahmed. Thank you for your donations, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you greatly in this life and the next, inshallah. Ameen. Now, brothers and sisters, respected elders, I posted yesterday about sisters who are seeking marriage and all the different hurdles and pitfalls that they may encounter, and what are some steps that they could utilize in order to make their situation a bit more halal and a little bit less worrisome and troublesome by following the rules and regulations and the boundaries set forth by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers, this message is for you. If you are a brother seeking marriage, you better check your intentions. For those of you brothers who do not have the best of intentions because you are seeking selfish gain, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect those sisters from your treacherous behavior. Ameen. Now, with that being said, I do realize that there are brothers who wish to move to the United States, and sisters as well, and they may seek love as a means to do that. So, with that being the case, my sincere and humble advice to you is do so with complete honesty. Do so with complete honesty. You approach these sisters and try to make them fall in love with you and promise them a life of the deen. Meanwhile, you may or may not be involved in haram all over the place. May Allah forgive you and protect them. It is of paramount importance. That means it is extremely important that you are completely forthcoming with your intentions. You make the assumption that these sisters may choose to not wed you if you tell them the truth that you are seeking green card status or whatever. Arranged marriages in many cultures are a thing that have been existent for since time memorial. So I'm sure they still exist even within Islamic culture. With that being the case, it is no different to be forthright and upfront with them about your intentions. There's nothing wrong with this, okay? That's not to say that the marriage will not last, okay? But to try and take advantage of sisters because you physically are a 10 or an 8 or a 7 or even a 5, and you try to prey on unsuspecting sisters who you may view as less than yourself, is most definitely, I'm sure, haram. Okay? Our job as men is first and foremost to protect and to provide for these sisters. Protect and provide. Now, how much protection are you offering them if you are the one they need protected from? Let's be completely honest here. You've got to get yourself together in the way of making your intentions known. And if you seek marriage for something other than the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah protect them from you. Ameen. It is not upon the sisters, total responsibility doesn't fall on the sisters to be responsible to know your intentions. You got to stop lying. Take some responsibility. Do you not think that you will have to answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this stuff? You will. You will. Undoubtedly, you will. That's just the way it's set up. We will have to answer for every thought, every deed, every word, everything that we do and say and think. May Allah protect us. Ameen. So these sisters can seek out the community. They can seek out their fathers. They can seek out the respected elders within the community. But you seem to want to prey on the sisters who don't have that. The sisters who are maybe reverts and they don't have a Muslim wali. And in those situations, sisters, I implore you to please seek out a community member who is a respected elder. Not just any brother, okay? But someone who is known as a trustworthy brother. And there are plenty of trustworthy brothers out there. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. You've got to take responsibility for yourself in these matters, okay? Because you cannot always trust the intention of the brothers. And brothers, shame on you. Shame on you. These sisters have it hard enough out here in this dunya, especially the revert sisters, okay? Especially the revert sisters. Not only are they dealing with the stressors of their family life, most likely, in most cases that I've seen anyway, the sisters, the families, they don't support the reverts, okay? If they're not supportive of the reverts, and then, the sisters, obviously, they want to marry a good Muslim man so that they have firm leadership and they have firm stability. And then you place them in a position that not only are they now against the dunya, now they have to worry about treachery within their own home, treachery within their own marriage. So, shame on you. And I know this is happening. Okay? But that's not to say that the sisters you're marrying are making it easy on you either. So, sisters, you have to be sure that you know and are aware of your duties as a Muslimah, as a Muslim wife. You have to be sure that you know those and that you're firm in your conviction with doing those duties as a wife, okay? Because you can't very well expect your husband to perform the duties that he is expected to perform, commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you're not willing to do the duties that you're commanded to perform, commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And brothers, you can't very well expect a sister to want to be the type of wife that you need if you're not willing to do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you you're supposed to do. How can they be a good Muslim woman, a good Muslim wife, and remain pure and guard in your absence what's yours, and not let people into your home that you don't want there, etc., etc. All these different rights and responsibilities that Muslim wives have: raising good families, raising good children, being the first line of teaching when it comes to the deen of Al-Islam. How can you expect them to be motivated to want to do these things when what they're given is anything but the proper motivation? If you're a man and you're handling your business, mashallah, may Allah reward you for that. May Allah reward you for that. I mean, if you're a sister and you're handling your business the way you're supposed to, may Allah reward you for that. I mean. For those of you who are making it easy on one another, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you for that. I mean. But if you remember when Adam and Hawa was cast out of the garden, they were enemies to one another. Not only to the shaitan. I covered this yesterday in another topic. But they were enemies to one another. So you have to understand the natural differences between men and women. And you have to understand the natural needs that are different between men and women. Sisters, you cannot very well use your feminine, seductive nature as a weapon against the brothers that you marry, okay? And brothers, you cannot use your financial power over them. It's forbidden. It's forbidden. May Allah protect us. Ameen. So, my stern warning is to you brothers out there. I spoke to the sisters yesterday, and Allahu Alam of who is doing what. But I know that this is a problem within the ummah, and the whole goal is to strengthen the ummah. The whole goal is to make the ummah better, to make the ummah stronger, to strengthen the home. Strengthening the home is the first line of defense for strengthening the ummah. And we can only do that if we're honest about our intentions, okay? A lot of you brothers out there who are seeking second wives, if you are financially in that position that you're able to do that, mashallah, be honest about it. Be honest about it. There's sisters out there who are saying, I'm not opposed to brothers seeking a second wife or a third wife or a fourth wife, right? I'm not opposed to being a second wife or a third wife or a fourth wife. But what I am opposed to is the betrayal and the lying that takes place in order to accomplish that. Be honest with these sisters. And if they don't want to be a second wife or a third wife or a fourth wife, then let them settle with Allah for that. Let them settle with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's not your place to try and trick them into a marriage. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Don't do that for your own gain. That's no different than the disbelievers who are out here in the streets. We don't want to be like the disbelievers who are out here in the streets, lying and being treacherous to people. May Allah protect us. I mean. So the key takeaway from this, inshallah, and I hope that everyone gets this, especially those of you who are seeking marriage, brothers, be honest. Be honest. You think, oh, well, I may not have the financial means with which to keep up an American or a Western spouse, so she'll never tell me yes if I'm honest with her. You don't know that. Now you're making decisions for the sister. You're not even giving her an opportunity to say no. Okay? There are a lot of sisters who are financially stable, like our mother Khadija. May Allah be pleased with her. She was a very well-off businesswoman. And she took care of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. She gave him employment, mashallah. So, you got to understand that not all sisters are created equally. Some of them are in a position where they're okay with maybe marrying a man who comes from a less than affluent country, financially speaking. And she's okay with building her man up for the sake of Allah. So you got to give these sisters the opportunity to make the decision for themselves. Don't be deceitful. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli zambin wa atubu ilayh. May Allah forgive us and may Allah protect us all. Ameen. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And please share this content with anybody that you think may benefit from it. Share it to your social media. Share it to whatever. I'm also going to post some new content on my Patreon account. The Patreon, mashallah, is now up and running. It's a very meager $5 a month membership fee. And this is for... I post content that's relevant to brothers in modern day society, and inshallah it is beneficial to brothers, especially brothers that are trying to navigate the marriage world and the relationship world, and just how to behave overall as a man. Masculinity has been under attack, for so long that it's hard to even know anymore what is considered masculine, what is not considered masculine, and then we're attacked for masculinity. But there's very specific things that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala put in place for us to uphold our masculinity, mashallah. So anyway, that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and Thank you again for all the donations, for all the support. MashaAllah. May Allah bless all the believers. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect and rescue all the people in Palestine who are going through hardship and murder and all these terrible, terrible things. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them all. Ameen. Until next time, remember that there is one God and only one God, and what? He alone is worthy of worship.